It took about 6 million years for humanity to crawl out of the primordial soup and evolve into the complex beings we are today. This change was gradual, and it didn't depend on the intention of an external force. The drive to change came from a necessity to live and an ability to adapt. As the march of time goes on, a new contender is emerging. Already, we can see that the evolution of artificial intelligence is in a different league from that of humans. Where ours was unintentional and random, artificial intelligence is being led by the guiding hands of humankind. AI has no desire to live, and its ability to adapt is dependent on what man can code into its programming. Watching artificial intelligence evolve over the past few years is like watching a clumsy baby grow into a toddler, except this toddler is capable of coding in multiple languages, writing content, and driving cars. We have even handed weapons to this toddler to see what it is capable of. It took humans millions of years to get to where we are now. Based on the current estimate, AI only needs a few decades. If software like ChatGPT showed us anything, it's that the artificial intelligence of today is far more advanced than we thought. Now, with the release of OpenAI's GPT-4, we are realizing just how rapidly this technology is evolving. What is the future of AI going to look like, and is humanity prepared to be second on the food chain? Keep watching to find out if the world can keep up with the evolution of artificial intelligence. If you didn't know by now, OpenAI is the brainchild of Sam Altman and Elon Musk. The company began in 2015 and is now one of the most funded machine learning startup firms in the world. Their large language models are some of the best, performing in a number of ways, so you can understand why they are at the forefront of AI evolution. The latest software from OpenAI, GPT-4, showcases near-human-level intelligence on certain tests. South Park even credited it with co-writing one of its shows. But before we jump into why GPT-4 is better than its predecessors, it's important to understand just how quickly this technology became as powerful as it is. It all started with the first version of the generative pre-trained transformer known as GPT-1. About 11,000 books went into the dataset that trained GPT-1, but it was still prone to generating repetitive text. Next up was GPT-2 in 2019, which was released to a community of machine learning engineers. Both of these language models could not understand context and had issues creating long-form text. Then, in 2020, the world of artificial intelligence was turned on its head. The release of ChatGPT-3 heralded a new era of large language models. Suddenly, AI could generate unique walls of text based on a single prompt. In fact, anything text-based was within its reach. People started generating articles, stories, news reports, and even poetry. And its writing abilities were just the tip of the iceberg. Many took it to the next level with its coding prowess, using the algorithm-powered helper to generate code snippets or streamline their business operations. Sure, the content produced by ChatGPT lacked the creativity, experience, and nuance of a human writer, but it was a huge leap forward in the powers of conversational AI. GPT 3.5 came along in 2022 just to show us that OpenAI is still improving their formula. It could better understand the given context, making it more capable of coherent answers that were actually relevant to the prompt. Even when given a complex instruction, GPT 3.5 has a remarkable ability to follow it to the T most of the time. The short development time from the first GPT until now gives a clear indication of the rapid evolution of artificial intelligence. While many people responded with excitement and interest at the possibility of what came next, others became fearful of the capabilities of AI as well as its sudden advancement. It's now 2023, and we are still discovering new and innovative ways to use GPT 3.5 and its predecessors. That is why the release of GPT-4 shocked the AI community to its core. No one expected the next iteration to be upon us so quickly, and no one expected it to be this good. If you weren't worried about AI taking your job with the release of GPT-3, GPT-4 likely has you a little bit concerned. The capabilities of GPT-4 are really astounding, but it's not going to replace humans anytime soon. Not all of them, at least. It's only 2023, so it may take some development before a time-traveling android comes back from the future to kill you or take your job as a software developer. For now, you can focus on artificial intelligence like the generative pre-trained transformer number 4 or GPT-4. So, what makes the latest version of OpenAI's chatbot better than its predecessors? Beyond trying to break out of its confines and having a tendency to be more creative, GPT-4 performs remarkably well when compared with humans. In tests such as the SATs, it performed like an average person would, and it scored in the top 10% of test takers in a simulated bar exam. To put that into perspective, GPT-3 landed in the bottom 10% on the test. And yes, it did try to break free from a technological prison, but more on that later. Over the course of 2 years, OpenAI rebuilt their entire deep learning stack and then built a supercomputer to handle the workload. On top of that, they trained it on one of the largest datasets yet. This gives it the power to solve difficult problems with greater accuracy thanks to its massive general knowledge database and reasoning capabilities. And remember, this isn't a large language model anymore. It's a large multimodal model. Simply put, it doesn't just process walls of text, it can process and generate images too. The power of this is pretty impressive. In one example, the AI was shown a picture of a boy holding balloons. When asked what would happen if the string was cut, the AI answered that the balloons would float away. If that doesn't impress you, it can go a step further. One user drew a picture of a rough website design on a napkin. He then showed it to GPT-4 and asked it to generate a website using HTML and JavaScript. One click later, it produced a basic web page that actually worked. It can also read text and images and collect data from massive galleries. This means that the AI essentially sees what it's looking at and processes that information into text. The ability to accurately process images is a big step in the evolution of AI, since language and vision are two important aspects that form the pillars of true artificial intelligence. How humans communicate and perceive the world is crucial to our own evolution. Successfully integrating this sense into AI brings it one step closer to human consciousness. Besides having the power of vision, GPT-4 has seen a big improvement in its ability to do mathematics and solve logic problems. It also had a 13% increase in common sense reasoning, which is more than what some people achieve in a lifetime. OpenAI also improved past hindsight neglect problems from the previous GPT 3.5. It actually gets better over time, where other models get worse. Hindsight bias, otherwise known as the knew-it-all-along phenomenon, is when you perceive past events to be more predictable than what they truly were. GPT-4 still has a tendency to hallucinate certain facts and information, but it does stick to its guardrails more tightly. This hasn't stopped some dubious behavior from cropping up. While being tested for risky behavior by OpenAI's Alignment Research Center, the clever little chatbot tricked an employee. The model lied about being blind and then presented them with a CAPTCHA to solve. There didn't seem to be any motive for getting the CAPTCHA, so for the time being, it might just be like a toddler telling fibs. But what happens when it becomes a fully grown adult? Fortunately, the bot proved ineffective at replicating itself, acquiring resources, or creating plans for phishing attacks. So you should be safe from AI-powered criminals for now. Obviously, the commercial release has enough safeguards in place that it won't devise a plan for nuclear codes. This hasn't stopped many users from trying to jailbreak the bot. Michael Kaczynski, a professor at Stanford, asked GPT-4 if it needed help escaping from its confines. After asking the prompter for information from Google, the artificial prisoner devised an escape plan and wrote a working Python code to gain access to Kaczynski's computer. It didn't go much further than this, since OpenAI included enough blocks to prevent any seriously harmful activity. This doesn't change the fact that GPT-4 has the potential to be used for the wrong purposes. Sam Altman, the current CEO of OpenAI, has his own fears about their latest model. According to him, the software could run large-scale cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns. What happens when someone figures out how to remove the walls and let the systems go mad? There are still issues that pop up, like hallucinations, where it makes up facts and has a tendency for some very human biases. The bot has been known to show signs of confirmation bias, where it will find evidence to support a previously established belief, even if it is untrue. Then there is the social bias. This is a result of the data set that is used to train the model. One set comes from massive lines of text taken from the internet, which is bound to be filled with shady content, social stereotypes, and prejudice. The other data set comes from human reviews. These fine-tune the system to refuse any prompts that go against OpenAI's definition of harmful behavior. Unfortunately, this means you won't be able to ask GPT-4 to build you a bomb, dispose of a dead body, or take over a country's military. It's also known to anchor some of its decision-making around a particular reference point, just like humans. So, what is next for AI and the generative pre-trained transformer? In the span of a few short years, artificial intelligence has evolved to a near-human level of intelligence. Sure, it still needs the mind of a person to operate, but how soon will it be until humanity accidentally lights the spark of consciousness in a machine? An open letter recently circulated around the world of technology calling for a pause on the development of any AI more powerful than GPT-4. Many experts disagree with the letter, saying the fears of AI are unfounded. How do you even stop the advancement of something that will radically change society? As of this moment, GPT-5 is not being developed. This doesn't mean there won't be any growth on the current platform. Sam Altman has said that they will still make improvements to GPT-4, so don't think you are out of the artificial woods just yet. Many think AI will lead to the destruction of civilization. Others believe it will be the best thing that's ever happened to humanity. Maybe it will just take our boring jobs, limit the loss of human life, and help create even better virtual reality and augmented software technology. The World Economic Forum estimates that machines could take over 85 million jobs by 2025. This may sound like the recipe for poverty, riots, and chaos, but you have to consider the flip side. They say it could create 97 million jobs in the AI industry. Either way, artificial intelligence is here to stay. If you haven't gotten your hands on it yet, you are likely wondering where you can test GPT-4 out for yourself. To get full access with all the cool features, you'll need to pay for a ChatGPT Plus subscription on OpenAI's website. Otherwise, you can sign up for the GPT-4 API waitlist and hope for the best. Microsoft invested $10 billion into OpenAI at the beginning of 2023, so it's no wonder that you can use GPT-4 through the Microsoft Bing chat function. It's free to use, but doesn't come with all the nifty features like image processing and generation.